Peut-être qu'un jour, il y aura des transports en commun absolument partout. Peut-être qu'un jour, on pourra se téléporter en vacances ou ramener ses enfants de l'école en drone. Peut-être qu'un jour, on pourra tous travailler à distance. Peut-être qu'un jour, on n'aura plus besoin de sa voiture. Mais aujourd'hui, pour des millions de Français, elle est essentielle. Alors pour la rendre plus simple, économique et solidaire, on a créé Roule. Roule, le club automobile ouvert à tous.
Fight for victory today. It was a fairly wet affair at the start of qualifying. It was an absolute deluge about 5 minutes before the session went green. What that has left us with is Enzo Guarasci on pole position. Conditions have drastically improved though since then. Much warmer, it must be said, and quite significantly dry, which it certainly was not. Here's how they line up then for the first race of the weekend. It's Enzo Guarasci, our vice champion from 2023, starting on pole position alongside championship leader Charles Roussin. Sandro Periciti brought out the red flag at the end of qualifying. He starts third alongside Thibaut Bossi. And then it's Anthony Girardo, double duty for him. He's also racing in the Clio Cup Series in 5th position. Then it's Tom Verdier. 7th is our Challenge Championship leader, Florian Krubal, alongside Matteo Nonblanc. Leo Jousset, our race 2 winner from Nogaro, alongside Gaspar Simon. Pierre-Laurent Figuier and Lucas Papin make up row 6. Further down, it's Philippe Bourgeois and Enzo Carvalho. Clement Burley and Pierre Sansinin on row 8. Sami Dari and Laurent Richard on row 9, and then Frederic de Brambant, Philippe Lecoeur, and then Alain Jacano on the back row of the grid. That is our gentleman class championship leader, starting right at the back of the field. It was a very wet affair, as we mentioned up at the top of the show, as the formation lap is underway. But up on the front of the field, Enzo Guarasci, who's fairly, I want to say anonymous at the opening round at Nogaro, but no podium finishes for him. Obviously, he'll be hoping to make a difference to that, but he'll have to fend off our championship leader, Charles Roussin, who left Nogaro with a win and a second place finish. That has left him 9 points clear of Florian Carouble at the head of the championship. Leo Jousset, third in the standings going into this one. He starts from 9th position. It's 2 juniors on the front row of the grid. There we can see Enzo in that cream-nosed 136 car from Chazelle Technology Course Junior. Of course, got a number of entries throughout the weekend, not just with the junior team, but the main team as well. Charles Roussin in the 38 car will start alongside him. It'll be a rolling start, with Enzo starting on the left-hand side, as we'll be looking at it down the straight to the right-hand side, given the inside line for turn 1. There's Florian Carouble, who was the challenge winner in both races at Nogaro in that number 2 machine. He sits second in the championship. Debut season for him. He is joining from the Clio Cup and racing for the reigning team's champions. But it'll be Enzo Guarasci and Charles Roussin, our vice champion from 2023, versus the current championship leader going into this weekend. It'll be a fascinating battle down into the first corner. They line up 2 by 2 through the final couple of corners. We'll unleash 21 of these Alpine A110 Cup machines. It'll be 21 1.8 litre turbocharged 4-cylinder engines that roar into life as the pace car will peel off to the right-hand side. So it's Enzo Guarasci in that cream-nosed car on the left-hand side against Charles Roussin in the blue-nosed white car alongside him. Watch out for Thibaut Bossi there in the red and black car just behind them as well. He will be very, very fighty. A lot of the cars hugging the left-hand side of the track as we await for the lights to go out for the third race of the 2024 Alpine Elf Cup Series in Portimão to get underway. There is the green flag, and the cars fanning out as soon as the lights went green. It looks like Charles Roussin has got good momentum on the outside, but Enzo Guarasci will have the line into the right-hander. Charles Roussin trying to get the old up and under there, maybe try and get up the inside into turn 3. Contact further back. That was the number 5 car going for a spin. That's Anthony Gerardo, the Clio Cup racer, but it looked like Charles Roussin did manage to get up the inside and try and take the lead of the race, and we see right front corner damage there for Gerardo. He looks to be out of contention already in the early stages. Still side by side for the lead of the race. Roussin on the inside going into the hairpin, and Guarasci has had to yield the lead on that one. He'll tuck back in behind. Sandro Perasuti settling into 3rd position in that number 26 machine. Actually, it looks like it's one of the white cars that managed to fit through into 3rd position, but it's definitely Charles Roussin leading the way. 25 minutes plus 1 lap of racing to come. We've lost Anthony Gerardo already, and it looks like a couple of other cars were caught up in that as well. We see Guarasci has not given up on the lead of the race here, has he? Still all over the back, and Roussin having to go defensive into turn 13. So much wider he runs as a result of that. And confirmation is Sandro Perasuti in 3rd position. He's obviously had a change of livery since his last meeting, but sitting in 3rd position. And we see Thibaut Bossi following in 4th position as well. And Guarasci all over the back of Roussin for the lead of the race. He'll have a fantastic tow all the way down the front straight. Less than a 1/10 of a second separating them as they went over the timing line. Roussin having to go defensive. Thibaut Bossi having to go defensive against Tom Verdier as well. Verdier has to settle for 5th position in the meantime. But we've definitely got a 3-way fight for the lead, as Roussin still has to go defensive against Enzo Guarasci. This time it's turn 3. But it does look like Verdier now found his man, or he thought he had, because they were side by side through turn 3, but he found himself on the outside line for the next left-hander, which is definitely a harder move to make, but he did manage to get it through and into 4th place, as Guarasci had a big swapper there on those Brembo brakes, trying to get up the inside of Roussin for the lead into the hairpin Atora VIP. And then we see confirmation there. Tom Verdier in 4th position now. Thibaut Bossi having to defend from Leo Jousset. Here's a replay of the start. And we saw Roussin getting a good momentum there on the outside line there on the front row of the grid. But it was the up and under he did at turn 1. Let's see if we can see where the contact for Gerardo happened. It's already happened at this point, isn't it? He's spun his way out at turn 2. And frankly, I'm amazed he hasn't managed to collect another car. Good avoiding there. We can see it was contact with the 26 of Sandro Perasuti. So the damage has come because he's got way up on that curb at turn 2. That's what does his right front corner in, and has put him out of contention. Unfortunately, 3 into 1 was never going to work there. Leo Jousset and looks like Thibaut Bossi side by side for 5th position through the final corner here. It is Jousset on the outside line and hoping to get some momentum down the straight. Right in the wheel tracks of them as well is Lucas Papin in the black number 8 machine, trying to find his way through. This is a great battle happening for 5th position. Are we going to go 4 wide into the first corner? We very nearly did. That was amazing stuff. And it looked like Jousset was the one who came out on top. Yes, it is. So Jousset up into 5th position. Thibaut Bossi desperately trying to hang on to that, what is now 6th position. But he's got Lucas Papin and Florian Krubler and Gaspar Simon for very close company. Great stuff as they battle their way down into turn 5. Once again, Lucas Papin on the inside, and Florian Krubler fancied joining the party as well to get past Thibaut Bossi, who's going backwards in this race, really, unfortunately. He has managed to fend off Florian Krubler for now. Florian Krubler 2nd in the overall championship and our Challenge Championship leader. going into this weekend. It's Sandro Perisutti who leads that class in third position overall as it stands. He's just dropping off the back of the race leaders at the moment. Very close call here for look like the 128. Oh no, it's the 16 of Gaspar Simon. This is maybe a little bit further down the pack, unless Gaspar Simon's a lap down. Yes, that black and gold car, which is Gaspar Simon, I think is not actually in this fight, unless there's an issue with his transponder, because he's right on the back of Florian Krugler who's in 8th position. So out side by side for the lead once again, but Roussin with the inside line, able to fend off Enzo Garicci. Once again into turn one, they are starting to pull away from Sandro Perisutti, who's got Tom Verdier for very close company for that last spot on the overall podium, and then in fact has gone through. And Verdier has gone through into 3rd position, so Sandro Perisutti down to 4th position, still holds the Challenger class lead, but has lost out on the overall podium as again Roussin has to go defensive into the hairpin. This battle showing up no signs of letting up just yet, and we're still only in the first 7 minutes of this race, and they're trading fastest laps between the pair of them as well while they go along. The onslaught on Thibaut Bossi seems to have yielded for just a few moments. He's back ahead of Lucas Papin in 6th position. He's still got a flurry of cars. Lucas Papin, Florian Krugler, Gaspar Simon, Matteo Nomblon, and Pierre Sansiena, all very close behind. Those cars separated by, well, not much more than a second, really. Bossi has managed to find himself just a little bit of respite. This is 3rd season in the Alpine Elf Cup Series for Bossi, racing in the Challenger class. Currently 2nd in that category, 3 category of drivers in the Alpine Elf Cup Series. We've got the juniors for drivers under the age of 23, then the challengers for drivers aged 23 to 44. Who have not had sporting success, and then the gentleman class for drivers 45 years older without sporting success. And then, of course, you've got the pro category as well for anybody with sporting success. Again, Enzo Garicci trying to get up the inside for the lead of the race. Now in his 2nd season of the Alpine Elf Cup Series, vice champion from last year, as we mentioned before that, racing in French Formula 4. Racing for the reigning team's champions, so he's got a good team behind him. Charles Roussin racing for the VPS team. That's the Mathieu Vaxier, Aurélien Panis, and Rafael Serrano run team. We see now Leo Jousset doing the fastest lap of the race in 5th position in the number 4 machine. Our race 2 winner from Nagaro, of course. So that's Florian Krugler in the number 2 machine, still trying to find a way past Lucas Papin, back with the leaders, who are 1.6 seconds ahead of Tom Verdier in 3rd position. And look who's joined the scene as well now, Leo Jousset, that fastest lap of the race, which was some 1.5 seconds quicker than Sandro Perisutti on that previous lap. Okay, he was being passed, but that was, yeah, that's put him right into the fight for 3rd position. Message has come up on the timing screen. Car number 38, our race leader, is under investigation. It doesn't say what for, but that is going to be cause for concern for the VPS racing team, who I'm sure will be monitoring that and trying to keep on top of it. First of all, find out what on earth he's actually under investigation for. We haven't seen anything too untoward in this race. Once again, Garicci looks to the inside. 15 minutes plus 1 lap to go in this race. So far, Charles Roussin has led it since the 3rd corner, basically. Taking the lead on the 1st lap of the race. just maintaining a 1.5 second gap back to Tom Vardier in third place. Another fastest lap of the race set by Leo Jousset at 1:53.130. Still some way away from the ultimate lap record here, which is 1:51.863 set by Hugo de Wilde in 2021. As I mentioned, the track not really in the best condition that these guys will have ever raced in, given the rain we had this morning. So fairly green track that these guys are racing on. Of course, we had the wet conditions at the first round of Algarve as well, so they're well used to it at this stage. Tom Vardier still leads this battle for third position. The 2021 French Caterham 420R champion, joining the Alpine Cup from the French GT4 category. And now taking a lunge up the inside there was Leo Jousset on Sandro Perissuti. Perissuti trying to come back up the inside through this penultimate corner, but Leo Jousset has just got momentum. Can he chop the nose across there? Was very, very tight, but he has found his way through into fourth position. And Perissuti had a big old swapper through the last corner. And you see just how much momentum that's cost him, because he was right on the tail of Jousset's car going into the corner. And now suddenly he's lost a couple of car lengths. So that is Leo Jousset now into fourth position. Now in his third season with the Alpine Elf Cup Series. A little bit further back, this is Lucas Papin and Florian Koruble vying over seventh position. And Lucas Papin had a fairly extraordinary drive in Algarve last time out, going from 14th to 4th. So he's used the attacking skills that he has well. Now he's using the defensive ones as well against Florian Koruble. Man second in the championship going into this weekend, and the challenger winner in both races, as we mentioned. But, only third in his category at the moment. The top 4 cars all in the junior category, and then the challenge cars now line astern in the timing order. Sandro Perissuti, but he is 2.3 seconds ahead of Thibaut Bossi, and then this battle for 7th place. We were just watching Gaspar Simon, who was in that battle. So I think that there was a problem on his transponder a little bit earlier, because it was showing him down in about 19th position earlier, but he has now popped up inside the top 10. A 5-second penalty for car number 63, which is Pierre-Laurent Figuier. I imagine that'll be for track limits, which has, of course, been a big talking point, as it often is in Portimão, and indeed in many racetracks. Pierre Sancinana in 10th position. One of only 2 pro cars that we have with us this weekend, and Anthony Gerardo was the other one, and he was out at the first time of asking. This is Florian Koruble trying to get around the outside of Lucas Papin for 7th position. See, they've got Gaspar Simon very close, and a big chunk of the curb there for Florian Koruble. Did very well to gather that up and not end up losing the car, and actually ended up not losing any momentum to Lucas Papin. Let's have another look at that. Fantastic stuff, getting right up on 2 wheels. And a big slide on the exit there for good measure as well. Did a very good job not to lose momentum. And Lucas Papin is soaking up this pressure in 7th position at the moment in that black and gold car. Again, his 3rd season in the Alpine Elf Cup. See that lead battle just started to break apart a little bit now. Enter Garaci not quite able to run with Roussan, although last time around their times were separated by only 13 thousandths of a second. So they are really trading blows, but the gap half a second. Garaci's going to have to dig a little deeper if he wants to try and take the lead away from Roussan that he lost on that opening lap. 10 minutes plus 1 lap to go. And these guys are pulling 2 seconds clear now of that battle for third place, led by Tom Vardier, who's put a little bit more distance between himself and Leo Jusset and Sandro Perassuti. So you see them fly through that final corner once again. It's always an incredible shot as they fly their way through and unleashing the taps on that 1.8 litre turbocharged 4-cylinder 300 brake horsepower engine, getting up to 6th gear. Now, I said that Tom Vardier put some distance between himself and Leo Jusset, but Jusset has suddenly got much, much closer to the back of Vardier, going up the inside. A very late lunge there indeed. Has Vardier got some sort of a problem, because the back end of that car is riding around like crazy, and Jusset, having been 0.6 of a second behind at the start, by the end of the lap, has now suddenly put himself up into 3rd position. Vardier's running okay now by the looks of it, but an odd one there. He's got speed. Maybe it was just a mistake in the final sector of the lap, but that's a very costly error then, if that is the case for Vardier. Try and get back up on the horse, get back into that podium position. See multiple warnings going out for track limits, including to our race leader. Remember, that car's still under investigation. We haven't seen what for. So there might be an asterisk next to Charles Roussin's name after this race for a while that gets investigated. Then we can see the confirmation of the classes, top 4, all the junior cars for drivers under the age of 23. The challenge runners, Linus Stern in the timing order. Sandro Perassuti leads Thibaut Bossi by 1 second in 5th position overall. Amongst the gentleman runners, it's Philippe Lorica in 172 in 15th position overall, who's 4 seconds clear of Frederic de Brambant, who started on pole in that class. And Alain Chassano, 3rd in that category. He is the championship leader in that category. 1st and 2nd for him at Nagaro last time out. And let's hope this is not a continuing downward trend of 1st, 2nd and 3rd. Another time penalty has just come up on the time screen, which is for car number 16. That's Gaspar Simon in 7th position. Son of Ludovic Simon, the Clio Cup champion. He is joining us from the Caterham Academy France, but also doing GT4 France in an Alpine as well. This year is Gaspar Simon, but that 5-second penalty not going to do him too many favours, because he's got 3 cars within a second of him. So that's going to cost him quite a few positions, I'd have thought. Now, that looked like damage, or yeah, it's left rear damage there for the 85 of Thibaut Bossi. Not surprising, given how much he was being roughed up a little bit earlier in the race, but he settled into 6th position. And 6 tenths behind challenge class leader Sandro Perassuti. The Herrera Racing driver trying to get his first class win. This was Florian Corubla, who took both wins at Nagaro. And Thibaut Bossi was on the podium in both of those races. Sandro Perassuti 2nd in race 2 at Nagaro, chasing his first class win of the season. 6 minutes plus a lap to go. Around that final corner, once again, that left rear bodywork still flapping away. It does seem purely cosmetic damage for Thibaut Bossi. It shouldn't hinder him too much, and a bit of couple of changes of direction, another one, and you see that what that's done is it's loosened the bodywork a little bit more, but Bossi to the inside and takes the challenge class lead. That rear bodywork really has come very loose now as a result of having to weave across the straight to follow Perassuti's line down the straight, because he was breaking the toe a little bit there. But that is Thibaut Bossi into 5th position overall and into the challenge class lead. So he was 13 points behind Florian Koruble for that category going into the weekend. Well, this will certainly help close it up. Sandro Perisuti third in the standings of the challenge class going into this one. Now that additional wear and tear on the back of Thibaut Bossi's car, I just wonder if that will invoke the attention of the race director and potentially prompt a mechanical warning flag to have to go out, because that's a big bit of bodywork. We'll keep an eye on the timing screens to see if anything does get done about that. For now, it's Bossi in the challenge class lead, 5th position overall. The race lead's just gone out a little bit further to 0.7 of a second. They are still keeping well clear of Leo Juse in 3rd position. Just under 4 minutes left to go. Of course, a bit wide moment there for Thibaut Bossi. Out of the final corner. Is that going to cost him any momentum down the straight, I wonder? Is it an opportunity? Oh, and going for the lead of the race is Enzo Guaracci. Now that lead was going back out again, but it's suddenly come back down. I wonder if Charles Roussin made a slight mistake at the end of the lap, because we've suddenly got it nose to tail back for the lead of the race again in the closing stages of this one. Charles Roussin has soaked up the pressure from Enzo Guaracci all race long. And Guaracci really is hunting for his first win of the season now, isn't he? And yeah, here we can see a replay of it. Very nearly contact there as Guaracci stuffed it up the inside, and Charles Roussin had to leave him plenty of space. Of course, it wouldn't be Guaracci's first win in the series if he does manage to pass Roussin. Took 2 wins last year on his way to 2nd in the championship. Charles Roussin in the lead of this race, using up every bit of knowledge that he's soaked up under the tutelage of Pierre Gasly, having won the Trophy Midget France Championship last year. Winner on series debut last time out at Nogaro. It's certainly been a very impressive first couple of races so far for Roussin. Another time penalty that's just gone out is for car number 46, which is the Clément Burley VPS Racing car. That's currently in 14th position, but back with the leaders. 2 minutes left on the clock, so maybe 3 laps to go with the +1 as well. And it looked like Guaracci was again having a look up the inside into the first corner, but I don't quite think he managed to make it work. Thibaut Bossi continuing along there ahead of Sandro Perisuti in 5th and 6th position. That's the Challenger class lead right there as well. A little bit further back, we've got Lucas Papin still vying over that 9th position. Or 8th position with Florian Koruble, which he's just taken back the 8th position into turn 1. And it looks like Pierre Sansanina is right on the back of them as well. So Lucas Papin defending to the inside. Feels like he can take the racing line once again as Sansanina looks to the inside on Florian Koruble. Doesn't quite manage to make the move stick. He'll have a bit of momentum, but the line will go the way of Koruble going into the right-hander. They rise up the crest once again. Lucas Papin there, that very smart number 8 machine. Again, flexing his defensive muscles against Florian Koruble. There's going to be a bit of a dent in his championship. He was 2nd in the standings, was Koruble going into this one. 9 points down on Charles Roussin. As it stands, Roussin, well, at worst will be 2nd if Guaracci passes him. Now, Now, are we going to squeeze in one more lap? Leaders have just gone over the timing line, so we will get 2 laps to go, and they're separated by only 0.3 of a second. So 2 laps left. More penalties going up for car 16. That's Gasper Simon and car number 63. I think we might have already had those. Oh, no, sorry, it's a 15-second time penalty now because they haven't been, even though they've already been getting the penalty for it, they haven't been obeying those track limits still, so the penalty gets harsher. Florian Corubla looking to the inside at turn 1 on Lucas Papin for 8th position. No way through. Pierre Sansanina trying to find his way through as well in the number 76 machine, the 2018 series champion. So very experienced in the Alpine car, racing in the GT4 Cup as well. Corubla again to the inside, bit more of an overlap this time on Lucas Papin, who has to go out just a little bit wide. They're going to be side by side through the kink at turn 6, but Lucas Papin will have the line into the next right-hander, and that does just allow him to hang on to 8th position. Oh, but a very late braking maneuver from Corubla. Can't get around the outside there, though. That would be very, very astonishing if he managed to do that. Timer has run out, so we will be starting the final lap of the race very shortly. So still, Lucas Papin is contending with the white-nosed black and red car in his mirrors. This is the battle for the lead of the race, though. And Leo Jousset has joined the party as well. He's only half a second behind Enzo Geraci. 1 lap to go, and Charles Roussin, who's led this race since the opening corners after taking the lead away from pole sitter Enzo Geraci. And it is side by side going into turn 1, but Roussin with the lead. Got the line into the right-hander, and he's able to hang on to it, but Leo Jousset is right with them now, and he's been setting some fantastically fast laps lately, and he's going around the outside for 2nd place at turn 3. Geraci runs him out just a little bit wide. Amazingly, that doesn't cost him any momentum against Charles Roussin. And down this short back straight we go towards one of the biggest stops on the circuit. Geraci to the inside, can't do anything with it as Roussin chops the nose of Geraci's car there. He ends up running a little bit wide there on the exit of the corner. Only half a lap to go, and Leo Jousset trying to get his nose up on the inside, but again, it's defended well by Geraci. I thought for a second that Jousset might just try and get up the inside. He's practically pushing him out of turn 8. And back up the hill. You see how much respite that's given Charles Roussin. He's now several tenths of a second clear of this battle and in a much more secure position to take the win. And now for Geraci, it's all about trying to fend off Leo Jousset for 2nd position. Coming into the final couple of corners now, last big stop as Geraci on the inside does manage to defend against Leo Jousset. But Jousset's not giving up. He's looking every which way to try and get past Geraci's car. Could be a drag to the finish line. Charles Roussin coming up to the final corner now. And our championship leader is on course for a 2nd victory of the season. It was victory at the season opener on debut in Nogaro, and it's victory once again in the opening race of the weekend in Portimão for Charles Roussin and VPS Racing. 2nd position. A very hard-fought 2nd position as well for Enzo Geraci for Chazal Technology Course Junior, and Leo Jousset joins them on the podium for Race Cars Consulting. Tom Vardier 4th across the line, all juniors in the top 4. Thibaut Bossi did get the challenge win ahead of Sandro Perisuti in 5th position. Overall, Gaspar Simon 7th across the line, but there is a penalty to be applied there, so we'll see where he ends up in the timing order. For now, it's Lucas Papin in 8th, Florian Corubla in 9th position, and Pierre Sansanina in 10th. And for Charles Roussin, it's the 2nd victory of the season, and he extends his championship lead. Be Leo Jousset 2nd in the standings, I would imagine, ahead of Florian Corubla going into tomorrow's race. Of course, extending his lead in the junior category as well, which Jousset and Geraci are a part of. Thibaut Bossi will have closed up a little bit on Florian Grubler's Challenge Championship lead. In the gentleman class, it was Philippe Loic, 13th, or 12th actually, is my timing screen updates. In the gentleman class. So let's see where that's ended up dropping. So we've now got Florian Grubler 7th, Pierre Sansanina in 8th. The timing screen still being updated, but it is a second win of the season. Oh, hang on a minute. Hang on a minute. Where has our race leader, Charles Roussin, gone? He's been demoted to 3rd position. Charles Roussin, now was there a time penalty being added there? Didn't come up on the timing and it's only just been updated. So that means it is a maiden win of the season for Enzo Geraci now by 0.2 of a second to Leo Jousset. Charles Roussin demoted to 3rd position. So that will shake things up, won't it, in terms of the championship. Enzo Geraci, vice champion from last year, ended last season well, and he's just taken his 3rd win in the Alpine Elf Cup Series. I wonder if anyone's told Charles Roussin that, according to our timing screen anyway, he hasn't quite won the race. Well, Enzo Geraci knows it, that's for sure. He does know it. Celebrates outside of the car. We'll be celebrating with the Chazelle Technology Course Junior team. Bump and fizz in the shit. Great celebrations with the Oregon team boss down there, who's very happy with that result as well. You can hear the cheers and the celebrations from down here, or up here, I should say. Yeah, I'm very curious about Charles Roussin. I was keeping an eye on the timing screen, didn't see anything pop up for car number 38. It was under investigation for a long time. I wonder if the two are related, but either way, Charles Roussin won across the line, but only in 3rd position now. Enzo Geraci and Leo Jousset, the top 2. Well, here's a look back at the highlights then. Cars were fanning out at the start of the 3rd race of the season. Enzo Geraci on the left-hand side lost the lead to Charles Roussin in the opening couple of corners. But the first corner, it was Anthony Gerardo coming a cropper at turn 2 as he hopped up over that curb, battling Sandro Peresuti, and ended up very much damaging the front right corner there. You see there was a little bit more contact a bit further back. But Gerardo had to limp back to the pits, and he'll be hoping to have better luck in his Clio Cup race a little bit later. Great battles up and down the field. There was a cracking one between Lucas Papin and Florian Grubler. Grubler had his own big moment at turn 2, but didn't end up damaging his car. Great move for 3rd position. Leo Jousset was a man on a mission. He pulled some mighty maneuvers, getting himself up into what would be 2nd position overall. And Charles Roussin, winner across the line, but winner on the timing sheets, Enzo Geraci for the first time this season. So that is all from the opening race of the weekend for the Alpine Elf Cup Series. They'll be back out on track tomorrow at 4:10 local time.